The elusive beauty of living often lies in transient moments, very fleeting experience that can be both profound and eureka in its moment, like a passing smile or discovering that my cat has done something really unique that he might never repeat again. Dreams and aspiration, the pursuit of goal that may seem just out of reach, creating a sense of longing and motivation. The sun is out, which is quite rare in England. For those who know, if you know, you know. We didn't have any summer this year. So I took that opportunity to cut some lavenders. I usually make lavender pillows with the lavender and give it out to friends and family. It really goes down a treat with them. I've been doing it for years and I've really perfected the art. So the elusive beauty of living for me is mostly harboring in perception, how we perceive things, how I understand beauty. And when I talk about beauty with my friends or with my family, I begin to realize that their perception of beauty vastly differs from mine. What I might see extremely beautiful, they might see it as just there. It's very subjective and it's very elusive. I think that's what makes life so wonderful and so beautiful. Every autumn, I really try to gather wild flowers, and along with wild flowers, also try to gather planted flowers from my garden, and I gently dry them and use them as decoration around the house. It really does look beautiful, especially during the winter. That almost near decay look that has just dried, frozen in time. And another thing I really like is observing the flowers transit from their colors, right? The color I'm holding now is not what is going to end up being in a couple of months, right? It will change slowly and subtly. It's not noticeable at first, but suddenly you turn and be like, oh, what happened to all the pink? What happened to all the greens? It's completely changed its color, its nature. And for me, another elusive beauty of living lies in change. This is my biggest point, for me especially, the inevitability of change. And this can make beauty feel very temporary, reminding us to cherish the present. I try as much as I can to be present. Does it work? No. Sometimes it works. I try consciously. It's not easy. It's very easy to just reside in your head, traveling past and future and past and future, without even realizing that the beauty is just within you. It's where you are, is in your present. That's the only thing that is accounted for. What a revolution. I'm inspecting my herbs. For those who know, I'm so obsessed with herbs. This is the final look of my hydrangeas. Walking for me is something that I cherish every day. I try as much as I can to go for walks, weather permitting. And in it, what I try to do is to be ever more present, to really open my eyes and appreciate beauty. I see beauty in almost everything, maybe because I have the creative part of me that I've been honing over the years. And I like to go near the duck pond, or is it a man-made lake? But with these ducks, they have personalities. I've been coming here for years, and I know some of the ducks, not all of them, but some of them, really beautiful. Ever rest, ever rest, ever rest. My dear cat, he is human. Nobody can tell me any different. This cat is human. He's a human being trapped in that cat. You know, he doesn't behave like a cat. His brother does behave like a typical cat, but with Everest, no. So after our long walk, I decided to make salad and spend a little bit of time just chatting and catching up with everybody. I'm making a warm salad, and I love salad a lot, and I incorporate all sorts of things in my salad. Because we are now transitioning to warmer food like soup and pies and all sorts, I'm cherishing more and more my warm salads, right? I try to make it even warmer, like put something really, really hot in it just to tamper the cold air, not the cold air, but the coldness outside, right? So this is black pudding. I try to add unusual things in my salad that gives it really density and texture and make it really filling, but at the same time give that rainbow array. You see the end product is really, really lovely. So the elusive beauty of living, it's something that has always intrigued me for years. It's there, but it's not there. You can almost catch it, but you can't catch it. And I've always been obsessed with imperfection, the beauty found in flaws, the unpredictability of life. To me, this is where beauty lies. This is where the living and beauty merges. I collect antiques. I've always collected antiques, and I used to sell really rare French and Nordic antiques a couple of years ago. I still dabble in it as a hobby, but I love old things. I believe that the previous user's essence is somehow trapped in those furnitures or in those products, giving it an added life, another layer of life. If you see a true antique chair or an antique table, you could sort of feel the essence of the owners, like their collective essence around that object, giving it a type of density that you generally don't see with new products, right? With new chairs or new furnitures. And for me, it makes me think even more and become more in awe of imperfection. Some people might see imperfection as a flaw. I see it as beauty. I see it as beauty, like a broken vase that has been repaired. My eyes get drawn directly to the imperfect section, and I find it truly beautiful. So the beauty found in flaws and the unpredictability of life, which can sometimes lead to unexpected joy. For me, that is another essence of elusive beauty of living. And then the most revealing for me is mystery, the unknown aspects of life that sparks curiosity and wonder and constantly keeps us intrigued. And this is so true. I find myself becoming more and more curious and more intrigued as I journey through life and I encounter things. Sometimes when I pass somebody on the street, I begin to wonder about the person's life, just very curious, wondering what they do for a hobby, what they like, what makes them happy, what makes them sad. And yes, these elements, the mystery of the unknown, creates a very elusive beauty in our lives that we can't quantify, we can't really articulate. So there is this quote that I have always loved. It says, "The beauty of life is in the unseen, The moments that slip through our fingers before we realize their worth. How profound is that? How very profound is that? The beauty of life lies in the unseen. The moments that slip through our finger before we realize their worth. This is so true. I remember when my kids were young, I was completely obsessed, oh my goodness, with getting them to walk or to talk. It was just the anxiety of the first-time mom. But sometimes I wonder how many unseen things that I missed. Those beautiful moments that slipped through my finger because I was anxiously willing them to walk or willing them to talk, instead of just sitting there and just appreciating that precious moment. So it's, I think, and that's it's fleeting. When you are in it, obviously you don't realize, right? Nobody does. You think, oh, it will come again. But as the year passes and you reflect back, you think, oh my God, if I had known, I would have been more present. A friend of mine told me that when she watched her wedding video, she didn't remember anything. It was so beautiful, but she didn't remember anything. She didn't remember anything. All she remembered was feeling anxious, worrying about the guests, worrying about the food, worrying about this and that and that. She wasn't present to really enjoy. The guests obviously had a good time, but she was just an anxious ball, right? So yeah, being in the present and really forcing yourself to zone back in is an act and a skill that I've practiced for such a long time. So this is my famous rainbow salad. I try to put in everything because I love colors and I like my salad looking creative. It's quite easy for me to color balance it, to make it a rainbow salad, right? Because if some key colors are missing, forget it. I have to hunt something down to make it that colorful. So this is my black pudding. It's all done. And my halloumi cheese. So these are the two warm ingredients that I generally put to give that warm feeling, to give the salad a warm feeling. And the salad is really filling. It's so delicious and so very easy to make. So very easy to make. And it gives you, it's satiating, it's delicious, it's beautiful looking, and it's very satiating. And I've passed this recipe to so many people, and it's very easy to tweak. You can replace anything with anything really, but as long as it's a big bowl of salad, voila, Bob is your uncle, like they say in the UK. Thank you so much. If you've reached this far, please subscribe.